Frederick Drummond is honest. He did not want to be a rancher.
I'd ridden more miles on a horse than 99% of these so-called cowboys. Hey, if you look at me, I'll stand up, I'll show you my both legs. I earned them. And I decided that, hey, I'd had all the dust and mud and cold, and there's bound to be a better way to make a life.
Ranching was the Drummond family business in Osage County, starting with Frederick's grandfather back in the late 1800s. Despite his misgivings, Frederick enrolled at Oklahoma A&M in 1949, majoring in animal husbandry. He was active across campus and joined all the agricultural clubs, including Block and Bridle, where he served with a student also destined to be named a DASNR Distinguished Alumna, now a Texas rancher named Minnie Lou.
Well, you know, at that time, I was the only girl in School of Agriculture. So I met lots and lots of young men. But Fred always kind of stood out. Fred is one of those kinds you can depend on, very, very smart, intelligent, and calm, and just a good gentleman.
Combining banking with agriculture was Frederick's next step.
Smart guy, goes off to Oklahoma A&M, and gets his degree and says, okay, Dad, I'm going off to Stanford. I'm going to get me an MBA so I don't ever have to do this ranching again.
After he earned his MBA at Stanford, he was hired in Kansas City at a bank where he was the person who evaluated the cattle that were used for collateral. He was able to look at them and know if they put on the banknote that they were worth $100 a head, were they really worth that or not?
But life doesn't always work out the way you expect. Frederick's father, F.G. Drummond, passed away before Frederick turned 30, and that's when he moved back home.
It was my duty, and didn't make any difference where I was or what, but that was my responsibility.
Would it surprise you to know that Frederick became a hands-on rancher? But he didn't just work on the ranch. He continued in banking and held numerous leadership roles throughout the cattle industry. And he's quite proud of his work in conservation, something that carries forward for generations to come.
I think that's one of the really fascinating parts of the story of Frederick Drummond. Has to do with the fact that he was a founding member of the Nature Conservancy.
The Nature Conservancy bought nearly 40,000 acres in Osage County, creating the Tall Grass Prairie Preserve.
In fact, I was the one that made the motion that we should buy the land.
And so for him to be a leader in saying, and let's protect that heritage with something that people can come and experience 100 years from now, we really have a great debt to Frederick Drummond.
In the 65 years since his graduation, Frederick has remained loyal and true to his alma mater. He and his wife Janet are the longest consecutive annual donors in OSU's history, with over 50 years of giving. It's something he does, but doesn't like to talk about.
That is genuine humility. I mean, he is a very modest person, and so that's not an affectation, it's who he is.
After a lifetime on the ranch, Frederick knows what's important.
I just hope that everybody has a chance for a good horse and a good sunrise.
Frederick Ford Drummond, a 2018 DASNR Distinguished Alumnus.